Okay, this is a review for the 7.1 to 7.3 quiz. Before we get started on the actual review, a few things to remember. We've already done this in class. So there are a few formulas you got to remember. So the formula for the interior sum. So that means the total of all the angles inside of a shape. Doesn't matter what size it is n minus 2, number of sides, minus 2 times 180. Okay? So if it's a 6-sided shape, 6 minus 2 is 4, 4 times 180. If it has 10 sides, 10 minus 2 is 8, 8 times 180. Now, if you want the individual interior angle, you take that same formula, which gives you the total of all the angles, and divide by the number of angles. So again, or number of sides. So if it's a 10-sided figure, you're going to do 10 minus 2, which is 8, times 180, but then divide by 10, because there's 10 angles. And the total divided by the number of angles will tell you the individual angle measurement. And then on the exterior, not sum because it's always 360, the individual exterior angle, well, remember, we talked about around the shape. So it doesn't matter what type of shape it is, how many degrees are around the shape? 360 degrees. No matter what the shape is. That's why I keep saying around. So it's 360 degrees in a circle. You're just going to divide by the number of angles or number of sides. Okay? That's one set of information to remember. Next set of information to remember is with a parallelogram. These are important things you should just write down. Okay? Either in a drawing with marks or the words. So I would just list this. Opposite sides are equal. Opposite angles are equal. And consecutive angles are equal. So angle A plus angle B equals 180. Angle B plus angle C is 180. And so forth. C and D, D and A. Angle A is equal to angle C. Angle B is equal to angle D. Whoops. Next part about parallelograms is the diagonals bisect each other. That's horribly drawn. But basically that means this is equal to that. This is equal to that. Okay? So if you have A, B, C, D, and put E in here, that means AC, line segment AC, is equal to line segment EC. It also means AC, no, my bad. This was supposed to be an E here. AE is equal to EC. Also, that means AE plus EC equals AC, the whole thing. This piece plus this piece equals the entire line there. This piece plus this piece equals that line, the total. So you can apply that to the problems we're going to be doing. Whoops, where'd the first page go? Oh. Okay, that was supposed to be in the beginning, but oh well. So, how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is n equals 8. I would write that down ahead of time. Now, interior angle sum. That is simply the 8 minus 2 times 180. So you just take your calculator. And 8 minus 2 is 6. So you're going to do 6 times 180 degrees. That is 1,080 degrees, which is C. Now, it did not ask you to, but if it wanted to know the individual angles, you would divide by 8. And that would be 135 degrees, which means every angle inside there is 135. All right, the measure of 1. Well, first you have to find how many sides there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the one we just did. So we do 8 minus 2 times 180, which I already kind of forecasted. Divide by 8, and it will give you D 135. Okay? What about one of the exterior angles? One exterior. So that's simply 360 divided by whatever n is. So let's see what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You don't really need a calculator for this. 12 goes into 36 3 times. Put a 0 on the end. So that's 30 degrees. Every exterior angle is 30 degrees. Number 4. State if it's regular or not. Well, you can clearly see that there's some short lines and some long lines. So that right off the bat is no. Now, technically, you should have to use a ruler to measure and a protractor to measure, but you can see that these all look the same. All the angles look to be the same obtuse angle, so we're going to say yes. Okay? Find the indicated measure. Well, remember, these two angles here, for one thing, this is an obtuse angle, that's an acute angle. They can't be equal to each other. That doesn't make sense. An obtuse cannot equal an acute. We know from the notes we took at the beginning that consecutive angles are supplementary. So that means my unknown plus 94 equals 180. So all I have to do is subtract 180 minus 94, and I get 86 degrees. Now number 7, notice, that's obtuse, so is that. This is acute, so is that. Opposite angles are equal in a parallelogram. Now, if I'm going too fast, you can always hit pause, rewind. You can also slow down the video on YouTube if you want to. So again, like number 6, these are consecutive angles, so they're not equal to each other. This one's obtuse, this one's acute. So whenever you have that situation, you add them together to equal 180 degrees. So first thing you're going to do is join like terms. Then you're going to subtract 180 minus 126. Lastly, you're going to divide by 9 and get 6. Now remember, it's just asking you to solve for x. That's it. If it wanted you to find the angle, you'd plug in 9 times 6 is 54, plus 11 is 65. All right? Now in this one, opposite angles are equal. All right? These are both slightly acute angles. Okay? So we're going to say they're equal to each other. So for this one, I am going to subtract x. And to save time, I'm going to subtract 82. Which seems like a weird answer because what I'm going to get is x is 0. And it seems like that doesn't make sense, but it does. Because x is 0. If I plug in 0 right here, 2 times 0 is 0, plus 82 is 82. And if I plug in 0 here, 82 plus 0 is 82. So it does make sense. X can be 0. The angle can't. All right, number 10. We said earlier that opposite sides of a parallelogram, I don't know why it's doing this, are equal. So all we have to do is say 3x minus 5 equals 22. So we add 5 to both sides, divide by 3, and x is 9. Again, opposite sides are equal, so I just say x minus 4 equals, like I can put an equal sign right there. Then I add 4 to both sides, and I get 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. Okay, now on these you got to be careful, and it sometimes helps to label stuff. Okay, so ym, that's right here. Okay, that is 18. And then mw is right here. That's 4x plus 2. Now remember, diagonals bisect each other. That means this piece is equal to this piece. So that's all I do is I say this piece equals this piece. That's a 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides and get 16, which then gives me 4 for an answer. Now remember, it's just asking me to find the measure of x, so I stop there at 4. Okay, now careful here. SW, that's this piece right here, is 12. Now careful, UW is this entire length here. I'll do it in a different color. That's this, the whole piece. Okay, so what we have to do is think a little bit of common sense here. If we know this is 12, and we know the lines bisect each other, that means this is 12. So the whole thing is 24. And we know the whole thing is 5x plus 4. So we just say 5x plus 4 equals 24. Subtract 4 and divide by 5, and we get 4 for answer again. Next one, careful. ET, that's this piece right here. This piece right here, which is 2x minus 13. TG is this piece right here, which is x minus 3. Now remember, we just have 2 parts, not the whole thing. So literally, it's just this part equals that part. We could put an equal sign right there. But it's kind of messy doing it there, so we're just going to rewrite it. So I'm going to subtract x. And that gives me negative 3 equals 2x minus x is x minus 13. And then when I add 13 to both sides, I get 10. But you've got to be careful. Is it asking for the measurement of x? No, it's not. I'm not measurement, but is it asking for x? No, it is not. So that's going to be the most common wrong answer on that problem. X is 10. It's asking us to find the measurement of EG. Well, EG is the entire line. So I need to plug in 10 right here and get 7. But I also have to plug in 10 right here. Well, 2 times 10 is 20, minus 13 is also 7. That makes sense. The 2 pieces are 7. So if this is 7 and this is 7, the entire thing is 14. So that's what I was talking about in class. Pay attention. Is it asking you to find x or an actual measurement? So 10 is the wrong answer. Now, this is why it's important to show your work. If you just circle 10, you would get no points. If you show your work and show that you got x is 10, you would get partial credit. So please always show your work, because you're going to be turning this in as a document. Okay, TL, that's a little short piece right here. Okay, LV is the little short piece right here. They are equal to each other. So all we do is say 3x minus 2 equals 2x plus 3. Same as 3 plus 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And if you want to, you can add 2 to both sides and move the number over at the same time. That gives me x is 5. Now notice 5 is not one of the possible answers here, so it would be hard to make that mistake on this problem. But on the previous one, you have to be careful. So it's asking you to find TV, which is the entire length here. So I don't have to plug in 5 to both places. I just have to plug it into 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13, which means this piece is 13, and this piece is 13. Also nice, 13 isn't a possible answer. So it's hard to make this one, get this one wrong. It's 26. But be careful, 13 could have been a possible answer. So could 5. Make sure you go slowly and pay attention to each step. Now here it's saying solve for x. Now we're back to talking about angles. Now, this angle is 102. This angle here is split into these two parts. But it's still one angle, which are consecutive angles, x and y. So remember, angle x plus angle y equals 180. In this case, angle x has been split up. Angle x is 8x minus 3 plus 41. That's angle x. Angle y is 102. So in this case, we want to add like terms. So we're going to do 102 plus 41 and minus 3, which is 8x plus 140 equals 180. We're going to subtract 140 from both sides and get 40. Then when we divide by 8, x is 5. Same concept here. Angle C and angle D are consecutive. Angle C plus angle D equals 180. Okay? So angle C is split up. 39 plus 31 makes up angle C. Angle D is 14x minus 2. They add up to 180. So I need to combine like terms. So I'm going to do 39 plus 31 minus 2. That's 68 plus 14x equals 180. So now I'm going to do 180. I'm going to subtract 68 from both sides. And that gives me 14x equals 112. Last step is to divide by 14, and I get x is 8. So that's pretty much it. That's step by step, every problem on the review, and this is a good guide to the quiz. And remember, on the quiz, you can use the review and the review video. Now remember, make sure you turn in the review on Canvas with all your work shown to get full points. Good luck.